So let's start here. So I have this AutoCAD screen, and how to invoke the tool. Do you remember? Okay, so you can invoke it by using the L tool, line tool, or you can go to the home tab, go to the draw panel, and you can select line, or you can go to the menu bar and select the draw menu and move the line. But don't worry about it. I will coach you to do along with the command panel. So you have the L tool, line tool. It says first point. So what is the first point over here? Let's go to the screen and see. First point is A, that is 2 in X and 2 in Y. So I say 2, 2. So here I go. So there I have this 2, 2 over here. And the next point is 3, 2. Yani 3 in X and 2 in Y. So 1, 2, 3 in X and 2 in Y. So the point B is 3, 2. Great. And next I have to go up. So it is 3, 4. Why 3, 4? CS, because 3 units in X. 1, 2, 3 in X and 1, 2, 3, 4 in Y. So let's put it like this. So type 3, 4. If you cannot understand, you just need to, follow the instructions. So it's 3, 4. So now you have done something wrong. So say you undo. So now you put it 3, 4. So you go up. So then you want to go, let's say, back. So in the D. So now you're moving towards the positive X direction. So now how much you are shifting? So you were 3 in X and 4 in Y in C. So in X you are shifting 2 units. So 3, 4, 4 and 5, 4. So D point would be 5, 4. Here you go. And then you have the E point. So here you are not shifting anything in the X axis, but you are shifting 1 unit in the Y axis. So 5, 4 becomes 5, 5. So you can say 5, 5. So here you go, and then you are going back. So you have to reduce the X axis value by 3 units. 1, 2, 3. So the X is 5 over here, Y is 5, so it becomes 2, 5. So you can always type 2, 5 and come over here. And then you can close it. So there is a close option over here. So you close it. So here you have created your first drawing of your project. So you will be happy enough. You can create more. So I'll be giving you more challenges. I will be giving you more tasks to do, tough tasks to do with absolute coordinate system. I'll mention there you have to create and submit it to us. Okay. Great. So let's erase it. So E is the tool to erase. Select it and press enter. So now let's go to the next challenge. So here we need to create this rectangle with the help, it's an easier one, with the absolute coordinate system. So let's start. The start point is 1, 1. So go with the line tool, okay, and the first point is 1, 1. So you start with 1, 1. So here we go. Just put your mouse, the mid mouse button, so you can roll it down. So 1, 1 is the first point, and then you have the 4, 1. Okay, and then you have the 4, 3 is the next point. Okay, so you can have 4, 3, right, and then you have the 1, 3, and now you can see a beautiful rectangle is created. And see for close. So you have got it. A rectangle is created. Now is the actual challenge. Let's do it. So this is what we need to create within absolute coordinate system. Okay, so now let's put it like this. So here we are. So I select it and put an erase tool. So where do we start? The origin. Now let's understand it first, and then we will work out all point by point. So the origin point over here is 0, 0. So this is the start point. 3, 1. 3 in X. 1, 2, 3 in X, and 1 in Y. Right. So here the coordinate is 3, 1. You take a pencil and a page, you sketch it, put the coordinate points. It will help you to understand. So let's start working into it and see how we can draw it. So you have the line tool, and it is 1, 1. So it is 1, 1. No, it is 3, 1. So let's put it, undo it. So let's start with a fresh tool, L. So it says 3, 1. Great. And the next point is how much? Let's do it again. 3, 2, 3, 3, 3, 4, 3, 5, and 3, 6. So let's put it 3, 6. Here we are. Okay, now 3 comma 6. Now go to the third point. So 3 comma 6, it is 4 comma 6 because 3 comma 6 and 1 in x, so it is 4 comma 6. So here we are, 4 comma 6. Now you can see it is getting sketched. Now 4 comma 6, 4 comma 5, 4 comma 4, 4 comma 3, 4 comma 2. So you have to write 4 comma 2. So this is 4 comma 2, 4 comma 3, 4 comma 2 and 4 comma 3. So 4 comma 3 is the next point. So once you put 4 comma 3, so you see that you are doing a wrong thing. So why not 4 comma? So if it is 4 comma 2, so you're increasing 1 in x, so it is 5 comma 2, not 4 comma 3. So sometimes you may make mistake, so do undo and come back. This is 5 comma 2. So then this is 5 comma 2, that is, this is 6 comma 2 and this is 6 comma 3. So it should be 6 comma 3. So you should be very careful while you're working. And this is you increase 1 in x, so it is 7 comma 3, because in x you increase 1, so it is 7 comma 3. So you go like this, and then you have reduced 2 points over here, so 7 comma 1, because 7 is there in x, there is no change in x, there is a change in 2 units in y, so it is 7 comma 1 in 8 point. So 7 comma 1 in the 8 point and 0 close. So here you have to be very careful regarding the coordinate systems, and I'm sure you will do it and you have done it. So now next we are ready to take the next coordinate system, which is a relative rectangular. The name suggests it is a rectangular coordinate system. That means it is a part of a rectangular system. So how it works? Now in the absolute system, all the points were taken with respect to the origin, right? So you are putting all the points 1 comma 1, 2 comma 2, 3 comma 3 and blah. So but here in the relative coordinate system, you are going to refer a point with respect to the last point that you have defined, right? So you can see illustration over here. This is the positive x, which called as plus x in the first quadrant, second quadrant, third quadrant. So all quadrants I've mentioned. So now if you are going to have a point, the first point is always an absolute because it does not have a previous point. But if you want to illustrate, if you want to get the next point over here, so now you can see there is called dx is equal to 4 and dy is equal to 0. That means delta x. How much change in x is happening from when you're moving from here to here? So you're moving 1, 2, 3, 4 slot. So you're moving 4 slot in x and 0 in y. So it's always put at dx is 4, dy is 5. So if you can mention that this point is 4 units from in x from the previous point and 0 unit in y in the previous point, your problem is solved. So let's do it and see how it works. So here one special character that will come over here. What is that? So line tool, the first point, let's say I go with 1 comma 1. Now there's a character called @. So you put the @ by shift and 2 button. So @. What @ does it basically shifts the coordinate origin from the 0 comma 0 to the last point. Now if you say I want to move 2 units in the x direction, so @ 2 unit in the x direction from the previous point and 0 in the y, so it will take from the previous point. So it is saying @ 2 comma 0. That means in x you are moving in 2 direction and 0 in y. Similarly you say @ 0 in x and 3 in y, it will move up. So now if you want to move in the left direction, you have to say delta x is negative. So here delta x is negative means @ minus 5 units in x and 0 in y. That is, it's a negative change, decrement. And then you can go for a C for close option. So this is how the relative coordinate system works. Let's do another example, line tool. So first point does not have a last point, so say 1 comma 1, and the next point comes like @. So you want to go in the y direction and x is 0, so you say 0 comma 5, so you go to the y direction. Now you want to move in the x direction in the positive direction, so @, let's say 4 units you want to go and 0 in y, so you're here. So if you want to come down in the y direction, that is 4 units, so you say @ 0 in y and minus 4. So it's how it works. This is simple actually. So you have delta x and delta y. So let's see. So this is delta x and this is delta y. So let's do this problem and follow this small illustration over here. So let me erase this, erase, and say all. So all are erased. So let's start it with this illustration, the line tool. Pick a line tool, and the first point is 1 comma 1. So I say 1 comma 1, and because we don't need to have an at the rate over here, the next point is at the rate 4 comma 0. So at the rate 4 comma 0, write it down over here. And the next point is, let's say here the dx is 4 and the delta y is 0. And in the next point we have at the rate 0 comma 3, that is in 0 in x and 3 in y, right? And the next point you have, let's say you have minus 4 and 0. Delta x is minus 4 and delta y is 0. So minus 4 comma 0. So you have this, and then you have the C for close. So this is how basically the relative coordinate system works. So you have delta x and delta y. So let's do an example over here. We have got a total 13 points. Now let's see how it works. So let's start with this. The first point is 3 comma 1. So line tool, first point is 3 comma 1, and the next point is, from this you are going 1 2 3 4 in x and 0 in y. So you type it over here. Don't forget to type at the rate shift and 2. So you have got shift. How many points you have? What is the delta x? 1 2 3 and 4. Change in x is 4 and change in y is 0. So you say at the rate 4 comma 0. Here you go. Now okay, now just adjust it, and you're going with the y direction 1 unit positive. So you say at the rate 0 comma 1. Here you are, and then here you are going let's say 1 unit negative in the x direction and 0 in y. So delta x is minus 1. So minus 1 comma 0. Here you are, and then you are here going positive in x and positive in y. That is at the rate 1 in x and 1 y. Delta x is 1 and delta y is 1. And here the delta y is 2 and delta x is 0. So you have got 0 comma 2. Here the delta x is minus 1, delta x is minus 1, and delta y is 0. Here you are. And here the delta x is minus 1 and delta y is minus 1. So you can always have delta x is minus 1 and delta y is minus 1. So you can always put it a value like this. And here the delta x is minus 1 because you're going the minus direction, and delta y is positive. So you can have minus 1 comma 1. Okay, now the delta x is minus 1 and delta y is here I have the delta y is 0. So I can put it as minus 1 comma 0. So here we are, and C for close. Now if you have closed it, so I have not created the entire thing. Now how I can come back? So you need to complete it. I did not do the complete one. Now it's the challenge for you. I have closed it. You have to complete the figure as it is shown over here. So you can take a screen capture, or you can sketch it. Keep the video on. You can sketch it, or I can make a quick sketch for you if you want. If you don't want to take this challenge, I can do it again, right? So if you did not follow, let me do it again and make it very fast. So line is the first point is 3 comma 1, and the next point is 1 2 3 4 4 comma 0. So let's first point is 3 comma 1 and the next point is 4 comma 0, right? And the next point is 0 comma 1, okay, at the rate 0 comma 1, right? And then we have minus 1 comma 0. Just I'm doing it fast because I have already explained how to do it, just for the people who want to repeat it again. Minus 1 comma 0, and then we have 1 comma 1 at the rate 1 comma 1. It is very quick to do. And this is 0 comma 2. Let's say I do it at the rate 0 comma 2, right? And then I have minus 1 comma 0 at the rate minus 1 comma 0. Now you have minus 1 comma minus 1. So we have at the rate minus 1 comma minus 1, right? So you'll enjoy it doing it again with me. So now you're going here. It is at the rate minus 1 comma 1 at the rate minus 1 comma 1. Now this is at the rate minus 1 comma 0 in the 10th point. So we have at the rate minus 1 comma 0. Don't close it, right? So then you have, if we are going down, it is at the rate 0 comma minus 2. Here you come, and then you are going in the 12th direction, that is minus 1 and plus 1. That means in y it is minus 1 and in x it is plus 1. So you have at the rate 1 comma minus 1. So here you are, and then you are going minus 1 in x at the rate minus 1 in x and 0 in y. Now you can close it. So here is a complete figure. So the person who has not taken the challenge can do it along with me here again. So here I complete the the understanding of the absolute and the relative rectangular coordinate system. Now comes to the polar coordinate. It is very simple. Polar coordinate system is very simple, and I'm sure if you have understood the rectangular coordinate system, polar coordinate system will be as easy as anything. So friends, now let me talk about the polar coordinate system. Now for this I have to sketch something, so I draft a line over here to explain you what is the angle concept in AutoCAD. So give me only 1 minute and see how I do it. So let's say I put it at 0 is the angle, and okay, I copy this and let me do it like this, and put some angles over here. So okay, so this is the x-axis, and this is the positive y-axis. So you know it because I have repeated again and again about it, which is the x positive direction, which is the y positive direction. So this angle is 90 degree, right? This angle is 180 degree, so we are moving anti-clockwise direction, right? And this is 270 degree. Okay, so you will be enjoying it once you are doing along with me. So now how the polar concept starts. So in the polar concepts you are only given two things to draw as an input. One is a length and other is an angle. So now if you're drawing a line, let's say with the relative coordinate system, we are using it relative polar coordinate system. The first point is always absolute, so I say 1 comma 1. So now I want to draw a line of length of let's say 5 units, and the angle from the x-axis is 45 degrees. So how what I do, so I'll say at the rate the length is 5 and shift and less than sign, and the angle is 45. So how it works. So now see, a line of length of 5 units with an angle of 45 degree with the positive direction of x is created, right? Now I want a line. Now the next point, I want a line of length of 3 units at an angle of 90 degree with the positive direction of x. So you find. Now I want to draw a line of length, let's say 5 units. Length is 5 units. Length cannot be negative, right? So length is 5 units at an angle of 180 degree with the x-axis. Now you can see the line direction has changed. So you can write a length as negative. Length is a quantity which is a magnitude, right? In the previous rectangular system we were doing negative because we are changing. We are seeing what are the change. If there is a decremental, we say negative. If there is an incremental, we say positive. Okay, so now I need a line of length, let's say at the rate length is 5 units, angle is let's say 270 degree, so the line will come down. So if I want to draw a line of 3 units, angle is 0 degree, the line will go right. So this is how the polar coordinate system is worked. Now let's take an example over here. So we'll draw this one and we will finish up with the polar coordinate system. So let's do this challenge. So we start with the first point, 1.5 comma 1.75. So line is 1, so it is 1.5 1.5 comma 1.75. So first point does not have the last point, so start. So the length is 1 unit and the angle is 90 degree, right? If you want to put this 2 point, go to the 2 point. So I say at the rate 1 angle 90 degree. Okay, good. Now the length is let's say 2 units and the angle is 0 degree, right? With the x-axis. So at the rate 2 angle 0 degree. Okay, Okay, great, sure. Now the length is 2 units. Why 2 units? Because the length is 2 units over here. It's already marked. 3 and 4 is length, and the angle is 30 degree. So you have at the rate 2 units, angle is, let's say, 30 degree. Okay, you got it. Great. Length is 0.75, the angle is 0 degree. So from 4 to 5, the length is 0.75 and the angle is 0 degree. So you say at the rate 0.75 is the length and the angle is 0 degree. So here you are. Length is 1.25 and the angle is 270 degree with the x-axis. So at the rate, length is 1.25 and the angle is 270 degree with the x-axis. Here we go. Great. The length is 1 unit and the angle is 180 degree with the x-axis. Great. Length is 1 unit. Length is 1 unit. The angle is 180 degree. Here we are. Length is 0.5 units and the angle is 270 degree. At the rate 0.5 angle 270. It's so easy, no? Right. The length is 1 unit. Angle is its angle is 0 degree, not 180, right? At the rate 1 angle 0, right? Length is 1.25 units and the angle is 270 degree. 1.25 units and the angle is 270 degree. Okay, so now you're going to be a champion. Now this angle is how much we have to calculate. So this is 30 degree, this is 30 degree, and this is supposed to be 150 degree. You can have a pen, you can see alternate system, you can create a triangle over here, right angle triangle. So this is 30 degree, this is 90 degree over here, and this would be 150. So now 90, 30, 60, 90, and the total angle is 150 degree. So now you can have the length as, let's say, 2 units. So at the rate 2 units, the angle is 150 degree. So you can go like this and see photos. So here what the mistake that we have done is, so we have to create this one. So let's put it here, and let me draw it from here again. So you can always pick the last point and say at the rate. So you can do it here at the 2. So the length is here 1 unit. So you can say 1 angle. So here you cannot do undo. If you do the undo after finishing the command, the entire drawing will be gone. So you say at the rate, the length is 1 unit. So length is 0.75 units and the angle is 180 degree. So at the rate you say 0.75 and the angle is 180. So here you are. Now you can say at the rate length is 2 and angle is 150 degree. And now you can go for a close command. Now if you do a close over here, so it will close it over here. So nothing to worry. So select it and erase it. Again, click a line tool, click on this point and say at the rate, the length is 2 units and angle is, let's say, 1 degree. So now let us do it in a one shot. We were now explaining. Again, to revise it, let us start it again. Line, first point is, let's say, 1.5 and I'm going quick now, 1.75. Then you have a 1 unit length at 90 degree. So you have at the rate, so you can put it at the rate 1 angle 90 degree. Okay, now you have 2 units at basically 0 degree. So you say at the rate 2 angle 0 degree. Now you have a length of 2 units at an angle of 30 degree. So you can have at the rate 2 angle 30 degree. Right, now you have 0.75 at an angle of 0 degree. So you can say at the rate 0.75 angle 0 degree. Now you have a 1.25 at an angle of 270 degree at the rate 1.25 at angle of 270 degree. Now you have an length of 1 unit at the rate of 180 degree at the rate 1 angle 180 degree. Now you have 0.5 at the rate angle is 270 degree at the rate 0.5 angle is 270 degree. Now you have a length of 1 unit at the rate angle is 180 degree. So you have, now it is a mistake here. So the angle, now you can do an undo because you're not out of the command. So it is at the rate 1 unit, angle is 0 degree. Now you come down, it is at the rate 1.25. So you have to put at the rate, very important, 1.25 angle is 270 degree, right? So now you take a screen capture from your phone or anywhere, you can always have it. The length is 2 units at the rate. Now you have to go in the left 1.75 you have to go over here, and so at the rate 0.75 angle is 180 degree. So okay, so something is missing. This double at the rate is there. At the rate 0.75 angle is 180 degree, and then you have now the angle is 150 degree. At the rate 2 angle 150 degree, and then you can come to the point 1.5 comma 1.75. So you have the figure done. Press enter again to exit. So this is the method by which you can do the polar coordinate system. I think I will give you more challenges in the class. So the direct now come to the direct distance entry method. A lot of people today, also most of the professional I know, are using this very much, right? So let me tell you about how it is used, and then I'll be going about the erasing object and how they are used, and then I'll be taking the last tool, the circle tool today, how it is created, and finish it off today's course with units and type of units. Okay, so the direct distance method is very simple. Here you have the you put a line tool and just type whatever, let's say 23. So at the direction in which you are putting your mouse is the direction in which the line will be created. So if you, let's say, if you leave your mouse over here and you say 5, so the 5 unit of the length will be created in this direction. So if you want to 3, the 3 units. So any it's very simple, that you just put the direction of the mouse where you want to go and the length. This is the direct distance entry method by which so I have put it in my screen over here. Now you can see some examples over here. Let me go. So it says that position the cursor and then enter the distance. Position the cursor and distance. So this is something that a novice are basically use while they are using the line tool. So I have been discussing about the erasing option. So let's see, you can, from the modify tab, you have the erase. In the menu bar you have erase, command is erase, and the tool palette erase. So how the erase works, let me tell you. I'm doing the erase again. So let me draw something over here, and so you have the erase tool from modify. So here you have so if you select it, so you can go to the modify tool menu bar over here, and okay, so you have the the best way to do the erase is select it is by the command you can do. So you can see that in the home tab, so here is a modified panel in the home tab, and there's an erase tool, so you can select the erase tool and select it. But I prefer you to use the command panel. So go for erase, and you can click on the object to select it, click on the object to select it, and press enter. The other way is to by the window selection. So you can select it, you can put a window and select it. So now comes the topic of the window selection. Now there are various window selection methods that you can do. Some of them I have mentioned, like the crossing window selection method and the normal window selection method. So let's understand what is the difference between this, and then we will see how to work into it.